Trying to homeschool, keep on top of house chores, and figure out what to cook for meals is exhausting if you don't have the right meal planning system in place. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you my meal planning rotation system that helps me take the thinking out of making meals every day in my homeschool. And I'm also gonna show you exactly how you can use the same system in your home and your homeschool. Let's get into it. Hi friend, my name is Iman and I help Muslim moms homeschool with confidence and joy while keeping on top of their home management with routines and systems, and all with prioritizing your own self-care. As homeschoolers, there's a lot of eating that happens at home. When you're at home, we eat 3 meals a day with lots of snacks. And if we are out and about, we usually take those meals and snacks outside with us. And the responsibility of cooking falls mostly on you as the mother. And this can be tiring to constantly think about what am I gonna make and cook for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And personally, as someone who doesn't like to cook and doesn't enjoy it, I needed a system that really helps lessen the stress in this department of my home and homeschool. I used to really struggle to figuring out what to cook for all the meals in my home for my family, as there is a lot of eating that happens. And this is when one day I finally decided I had enough of dealing with this pain point in my home and my homeschool, and I sat down and I created this meal plan rotation system. And man, did it make a difference in my home and homeschool. And make sure you keep watching this video because I'm gonna share with you how you can get this exact meal planning rotation system for your own home and how you can create it for your own home. So there are 3 benefits that I saw when I implemented this meal plan rotation system. Number 1, this meal planning rotation system truly took the thinking out of what am I gonna make for breakfast, what am I gonna make for lunch, and what am I gonna make for dinner. Now I know exactly what meals I'm gonna make for my family. No more thinking about it, no more decision fatigue by deciding what you're gonna do last minute. The second benefit that I saw is I was so tired of making meals that my kids didn't like. And I do have a couple of picky eaters, and whenever I spend hours making these meals, they ended up just not eating it. And I was so tired of that. So this meal planning rotation system gives me the variety of meals that I have in my rotation that my kids can try, at the same time keeping their favorite meals in the forefront and keep making those meals over and over again, and my kids still enjoying them. And the third benefit is making the grocery list for that week was so easy because I knew what meals we're gonna have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for that whole week. One of the other things that I struggled with is sitting down and figuring out what meals I'm gonna make, researching the meals that I'm gonna make, looking for it online, and then figuring out what grocery items I needed to make those meals. Since this meal planning rotation, I don't have to do that because I make the similar meals every other week and I just put it on rotation. So I have a very good idea of the grocery items that I need because they don't change that much. Okay, so now I'm gonna explain to you exactly how this meal planning rotation system works. And I'm actually gonna link down in the description the actual template that I use to do this meal planning rotation system. And it's literally this template that I'm gonna link down below that you can use to create your own meal planning rotation system for your home and your homeschool to decrease the overwhelm. So if you're interested in that, make sure you grab the template down below. Okay, so there are 2 parts to this meal planning rotation system: the breakfast rotation and the lunch dinner rotation. And so when you grab, this is my template, when you actually grab your template down below, you have the breakfast rotation at the top here, and then you have lunch and dinner separated by each week. Week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. Those are your lunch and dinner ideas for each week. Okay, so let's start with the first part, which is the breakfast rotation, which is the top part of the template. And so with the breakfast rotation, you have to think about the 7 breakfast meals that your kids love and your family enjoy. Once you know those meals, because we all know those meals, I want you to give each breakfast meal a day of the week. So Monday, put a breakfast meal in there. For example, that could be pancakes. Tuesday, another breakfast meal. On Wednesday, another breakfast meal. So I want you to fill out the whole week of the template with all the breakfast meals that your family enjoys. And this way, when you wake up on a Monday, you already know what you're gonna make for breakfast. So no more thinking when you wake up, what am I gonna make for breakfast? No more scrambling last minute of making breakfast and then starting your homeschool late. You already know when you wake up Monday, when you wake up Tuesday, what you're already gonna make. And at the same time, when you plan for the next day in your planner, you're also gonna write your meals in your planner so you prepare for the next day. So the second part of this meal planning rotation is the lunch and dinner meal rotation. And so the bulk of your template is the lunch and dinner meal rotation that you will do every week. So the way this part works is step 1, you have 4 weeks in your template. So for each week, you're gonna brainstorm 3 lunch meals and 3 dinner meals that your family loves for that week. So the 3 lunch meals and the 3 dinner meals is your family having the same lunch and dinner meals for 2 days in a row. And that equals to having your meals covered for 6 days, and the last day you can do a takeout night, which is what we do. Step 2 is writing down your lunch meal ideas and your dinner meal ideas for that week. For example, if you're working on week 1, writing your 3 lunch and 3 dinner meals for your week 1. And so for the second week, you're gonna do the exact same thing. Plan 3 lunch meals and 3 dinner meals. And so if you are starting to understand the picture, you are starting to create your meals for week 1, your lunch, 3 lunches, 3 dinners, your meals for week 2, your meals for week 3, and your meals for week 4. And so once you are meal planning for that week, you sit down, figure out what week it is. For me right now, I'm in week 1. You know what meals you have to make. And so the grocery shopping will be easier, which we'll get into the next step. And step 3 is this makes your grocery shopping so much easier. Once you make your rotation for your 4 weeks, you will start with the first week or whatever week you want to start with and look at the meals you're going to make and figure out the grocery items that you need. And you just write them down. And the good thing is the same grocery item is going to be repeated in 4 weeks from now when you're on the first week again. And so every week you're going to get to know what grocery items you need for every week because they have the same meals that you've planned out. And step number 4, you're going to be rotating the 4 weeks. And so the rotating of the 4 weeks keeps your meals fresh and exciting for your family, and you get a variety of different meals. And these are all meals that your kids love. Isn't that genius? Now I'm gonna give you 5 extra tips that will help you to implement this meal planning rotation even better. Number 1, choose one day of the week and keep it consistent that you will sit down to review the meals that you have coming up for that week and to write down your grocery list. Tip number 2, write your daily meals for the next day in your planner the night before. And so I plan weekly and daily. And so when I'm planning daily, I usually try to plan the night before or the morning of. But whenever you are planning daily, make sure you write down what you're gonna have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner in your planner, referring to your meal planning rotation system. And this way, when you are planning the night before or the morning of, you know what meals you have to make so you can start prepping for it that day. This leads me to tip number 3, doing small meal preps early in your morning of your day. And so since you know what meals you're gonna make for lunch and dinner that day, you can take out the meat to thaw for dinner or start cutting up vegetables when you are making breakfast for your soup for lunch. This way, when it's time to make lunch or dinner, half of the work is done because you have done some prepping earlier on that day. Tip number 4, I love choosing meals that I can cook without me being there. So choosing meals that you can make in your crock pot or choosing meals you can make in your Instant Pot. This really saves me time when I'm making dinner, when I can just put it in the crock pot or Instant Pot. I personally love the Instant Pot, and it'll just cook without me being there. And tip number 5, when you have kids that love to snack all day, I love to prep healthy snacks for them that they can easily grab in the fridge. And the way I do this is on the weekend, usually on Sunday, when I'm putting my groceries away, I wash all my berries and I put them in jars. I might put a lot of the snacks in the lower shelf, so for my younger kids can also grab without needing me. So prepping some healthy snacks in the fridge and having it there so your kids can just serve themselves. This will make your kids more independent in grabbing snacks when they're hungry, and they're less likely to bother you Every time they're hungry, they can just go in the fridge and grab some healthy snacks. If you like this video, then you would love the next video on how to be productive in your time so you can efficiently manage your home and your homeschool through time blocking. If you're interested in that, make sure you check out the next